Caitlyn has also made it through the bans, and that has typically been one of the answers. It's like JackeyLove might just go back towards the Jinx anyway.
Yeah, we highlighted some of the answers, right? We hit on, we've seen Samira picked into it. We've seen Tristana come out consistently. Caitlyn would definitely dominate it in the laning phase, but one thing that is great against it is the Nautilus having the point-and-click ultimate to lock it down. Of course, having the hook to be able to bring it down as well. TS, I wouldn't be surprised if they just locked one in outright. It was obviously Tian's best champion by far last year. Even coming in early to the split, we saw it consistently banned against top esports.
Certainly did, but that happens. We'll see. Tian, one of the best Lee Sins in the entire league. One of the best Lee Sins in the world, honestly. He's an absolute monster on it, and every time we see him on it, you get to see some magnificent stuff. But Jiejie with the Zhao, very good for that early matchup, denying. So that early pressure that Lee Sin can bring to the table, and a Leona, Meiko on the bottom side.
Yeah, now for TS, you'd expect AD carry to come out, because again, it could get a little bit annoying if that pool does get pinched a little bit. Even if there are numerous answers like they're hovering over right now, finding the one you are most comfortable on would be quite nice. And so far, both teams are setting up for these aggressive all-in style compositions, right? Zhao Leona on one side, you have Nautilus Lee Sin coming out on the other, and this will be locked in, Munch. It's got to happen.
We're setting up for a bit of a banger here, aren't we? We've got all-in available on both bottom sides. We've got aggressive junglers on both sides as well. Crucially as well, Meiko on an engaged support. So this is good EDG. None of that enchanter nonsense. This is good EDG once again. As you said, that band-aid fix. Just getting Meiko back on something that can engage.
I'm telling you, I've seen so many times people have been like, man, LPL needs to pick up enchanters. What are they doing? It's like, no, we don't. Just let's keep it tanks. Let's keep it bloodthirsty. And now we're going to see some bans coming out. TS wanting to respect some of the aggression coming out that could come out from the side of EDG this time around. Again, Knight just said Scout is someone who is proficient on pretty much any champion he does pick up. For TS, I wonder if they'll value getting a counter pick for Wayward, or just want to get the stronger mid-jungle 2v2 and guarantee a counter pick coming out for Knight. I think the counter pick for Knight could be more impactful. Again, if they want to go towards more aggressive mid lane options and not just default to things like Corkis or Oriannas. But with Wayward still being a relatively new player in the LPL, wouldn't be too surprising if they're like, hey, we want to get you on something you're comfortable on so you don't fall behind and, you know, potentially like tilt or fall behind.
A lot of top lane bans though, with the Gwen, the Jace, the Tryndamere, all taken off the board. The Graves currently still available, and a couple of those picks that will do well into the Graves, like that Tryndamere, for example.
Actually, Munch, Graves was the first ban. I missed it as well. But actually, that's a great point, because you're highlighting pretty much all the safe blind pick tops are taken away. Because typically it is either like the Gwen or the Graves that does come out, unless you're a team like Wayward and you're fine just picking up the Scion outright.
Pick the Scion, yeah.
Like, so I'm happy they go for this, right? Because the obvious thing you would expect would be something, again, like whether it is an Orianna or a Corki or somebody that to come out, but I didn't think top esports would go in that direction. Opting into the more aggressive drafts, again, playing more with their mid-jungle lately in these series. They have been a team who have gone away from the likes of the Victors and the Corkis, even if those are still Knight's most played champions just because of the early prevalence. And with a lot of those safe blind pick tops banned away, we're going to see Xiaosheng go to a bit of comfort by bringing out the Gnar.
Yep, Gnar comes out. I just want to quickly touch on the fact that we've got Knight Syndra in this game. You love to see it. He's got 40 games of it over the course of his career and a 75% win rate. Knight is a monster on Syndra. So many
2020 Summer
highlights.
Finals. I don't know if
know,
you remember. Me and you
through
were
the
there.
wall. It was unbelievable. Honestly, he's an absolute monster. He's a machine. And Syndra is his weapon of choice. But now, final pick here. Inside top esports. That top lane role. We're operating a lot of very aggressive top laners here.
Yeah, I think there's no way this happens, right? There's no way Wayward comes in with the confidence to pick something Syndra like this.
Mid lane Tristana.
Okay, so we do just go to a standard pick. I mean, Camille versus Gnar, right? A little bit of a back and forth matchup. Camille, you do have the all-in options, especially once you do hit that level 6 mark, being able to just try and poke out with your W option. But For TS, again, they've all in on aggression. They have, I'd say, a more early mid-game oriented kind of pick and skirmish composition. You have a lot of single target lockdown coming out from their composition, so very easy to be able to get on top of a Viper or Scout when need to be. For the side of EDG, you expect it to be a bit slower from the fact that they do have the Corki and the Zeri, but if they can scale up to those mid-game and late-game team fights, this is where things will come online. Obviously, they will have things like the package timer to be able to play around, but the ball is definitely in top esports court.
And that's more than okay with top esports, right? Because when you look at this team, it is straight up win lane, win game once again, right? Syndra, Tristana, Nautilus, even the Camille up in the top side, right? These are all very aggressive picks, and with a Lee Sin to facilitate all of that action, this is feeling like top esports drafting for a game where they can put their foot on the accelerator once again. A night on the Syndra, I cannot say it enough how good this man is when he gets Syndra in his golden left hand. I cannot wait to see how this one's going to pan out. Top Esports versus EDG, game number 2 here. EDG, the world champions, and going back to what worked for them in the past with these engaged supports, going for a slower pace of game. We'll have to wait and see if it works out.
Yeah, like you're saying, right, that mid lane matchup especially, Knight will be able to have consistent pressure, has the range advantage coming out, the threat of the Scatter of the Weak will do so much to dissuade Corki from being able to walk up, look for push, and should give Knight and Tian an easy way to pivot towards that bot side if that's what they want to play for. But you kind of have 2 side lane matchups that both can and will be able to play aggressive if that is where Knight and Tian opt to go, right? Again, you have the hookshot wall shot from the Camille to be able to get on top of Zhao, but whenever you pick the Tristana into the Zeri, I really do love to see more priority put into your bot lane to set that behind, make Zeri not be a champion. And I mean, once Tristana gets ahead, right, you're just a turret-taking machine. They could look for a very nice snowball like they found in Game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just shred through those objectives. And that was one of the key things in game number 1, right, is that usually we see EDG being the kings of the objectives. Like I've harped on across the course of this series, they like first and second place in every objective statistic, right? Love the early dragons, love the early heralds, love the barons as well, love the early towers. Like every single category, they're top in the table. Top Esports did not allow that to be the case in game number 1. They contested what has been bread and butter for EDG.
Yeah, now as we're coming out, right? Interesting that we see solo starts coming out from both junglers, Tian specifically starting on the Raptors. So no information going over to either side. TS do have a ward on red buff, so they at the very least know not starting there. EDG didn't get any deep wards, but now Tian will be spotted out. Tian looking to go straight into Jiejie's jungle. Again, his top and mid both have push. You can easily follow up on this.
Yeah, was warded and Jiejie just goes for the fight. Scout is going to be here as well. Tian just gets called out by Jiejie. Spots him on the ward, just walks in and goes, bring it on, buddy.
Especially with the path he took, right? Kind of like going through that quadrant of river. It doesn't matter that Scout's getting pushed in because he has safer and easier access to that jungle skirmish. Zhao hits 2 first.
Oh my lord, it might be solo kills galore across the game. Wayward will survive, still has his flash. Zhao saving that boulder, wants to find the target. Oh, for the time being. Either way, great aggression coming out from EDG across the board here.
Yeah, EDG taking advantage of their windows, right? Again, Tian felt it. Tian's like, hey, I have the pushing laners. I could look for this. Didn't expect to spot Jiejie there, but like you highlighted the ward. And now Tian does not want to stop with the aggression. Can look for the plan to Zhao. Does have his flash up, you'd assume. Actually, no, only level 2 right now. Should go down.
Zhao walks straight towards him there. Forced the flash, but the wrong direction. Jiejie moving on over. It's a 2v2 now, but Zhao in all kinds of trouble on Hop. About a 1,000,000-second cooldown at this point in the game. He's sacrificed to the jungle gods that is Tian. And well, now, it's 1-1 now.
I thought maybe he'd be able to get away once those flashes came through. Also hitting level 3 at a nice time as well, but isn't able to get away. Jiejie, though, having a level lead. You can see on your minimap now, though, Knight is zoning Scout away. So Scout not having that ease of access entrance into the river to look to collapse once again. Nice job by Knight covering for his jungler.
Unable to get that scuttle grab. And crucially, Jiejie was stuck in that top side of the map where he'd already taken all of his camps. So both junglers even on camps now, and Tian invades this bottom side because Knight has so much pressure in the mid lane and is not stopping anytime soon either. Scout just desperately trying to farm, but Knight does not want to allow that to happen. And Tian even leaving one chicken, so Jiejie won't get the reset. Will get both crabs as well in favor of top esports. This is a phenomenal start.
Nice that Tian getting killed in enemy jungle didn't slow them down, didn't stop the momentum of them knowing, hey, again, our comp is the quote-unquote early game comp in this draft. We need to look to get ahead. We have the pressure. We have the tools to look for these aggressive picks and look to invade the enemy jungle, and they've done just that. Even in the bot lane, right? We talked about how Tristana is, a counter into the Zeri matchup. They have been able to keep up pressure and have found a bit of a CS lead for themselves as well. Viper's getting back to lane, so we'll be able to answer that a little bit. But ultimately, you said win lane, win game was it for TS, and they're doing a nice job powering ahead so far.
Yeah, I sort of take it back, though, because I'm pretty sure now that I've realized, it's actually win jungle win game. Because Tian really has been the one putting the front foot forward so far, being so aggressive. And he got shut down on that first play, like you're mentioning, but it really did not stop anything. So we'll see if he can keep that ball rolling. A 300 gold lead for him so far. But across the rest of the game, realistically, not that much. Scout, obviously, getting that first blood, so he'll have a lead in the mid lane for the time being. But Knight is not playing like he's at a deficit, that's for sure.
No, and Mark has to be careful. I was going to say, I like that Meiko's sticking around, that Jiejie moves back over as well, right? Because you can see that JackeyLove's by himself in the bottom lane. You knew the reset just come out, so of course Mark would be hovering around the mid lane. Both of them show, which allows Scout to be able to get that push to keep going. And now both supports, actually no, Mark staying in mid lane.
Not hanging around, but he's got about 1 billion blue pings onto him. JackeyLove needs to be cautious, has the rocket jump though. And actually trades pretty effectively there, jumping out after the fact, but getting a couple of stacks with his bomb. Does have the Halo Blade, so those quick burst trades like that, JackeyLove's going to win every time.
Yeah, Jiejie, though, looking for a gank in top. Wayward doesn't have flash.
He's low on HP as well, but he smells a rat. He's going to get well out of dodge on that one. Does have his TP, so won't lose too much for it.
Yeah, and now we come back. We see Viper did go for a reset because TS did a really nice job of getting 2 control wards on both sides of mid lane, which would make it very hard for Scout to be able to play the lane, even walk up to a neutral state, right? Because there's no safe side to lean towards. They time Viper's recall so Meiko can go and clear that ward, and Viper not being under any danger does open up a turret plate going over for JackeyLove.
It does, and half of the next one as well, and that's the power of the Tristana, right? You can just hammer away all lane long. It's so difficult unless they can close the gap, but even if they do, even if Meiko lands his Zenith Blade, JackeyLove can buffer that rocket jump, and so Tristana, so difficult to punish. But like I said earlier on today, it is a champion that naturally will push, so maybe if Jiejie can make his way into this bottom lane, there's a chance of punishing this aggression.
And it's really the only place you have easy setup, right? I mean, Gnar, sure, if you time it correctly with the Mega Gnar, you can try and find that kill, or if Wayward's overextending, but Wayward's already shown us he's respecting the fact of Jiejie's potential presence quite heavily. Zenith Blade would be the only obvious setup, but for EDG, we kind of expected this, right? Play a bit slower in the early game, you're waiting for that package timing to come up, and that's really what you're playing around when you do have the Corki. So we're 30 seconds away from the Rift Herald, and we'll see if EDG are able to get that one. But, I mean, with the amount of presence that TS have in their lanes, you'd expect that TS should be favored.
Attempted trade there from Wayward, but couldn't quite connect the stun on that one. Finally proc his grasp, but that's all he's going to be able to get on that trade. As you mentioned, Herald coming on. Oh, both bot lanes still here for the time being, but resets coming out from EDG, or at least out from Meiko. He's up in this top side and dropped quite a deep ward. Jiejie, I think he realizes that the solo laners are not in their lanes right now, and that ward's pretty fresh. I don't want to be here.
Cannot look to walk around there, and look at the vision control already coming out from TS. Walking in aggressively, getting some wards down. EDG have been able to maintain some defensive wards in their own jungles. We see Jiejie now walking over them. In both bottom lanes, they're heading up. We're going to get a bit of a skirmish.
Jiejie starts the Herald here. We're going to have a 5v5 on our hands. Zhao is in mini Gnar right now, but he's starting to build that bar. No longer exhausted. His Knight fights for prio in the mid lane, and EDG converge on the Herald. Tian steps forward, Mark there to be the engaged tool for top esports. He is level 6, so a lot of tools to be used, but the anchor goes wide, and it's actually Jiejie to start things off. The package is gorgeous from Scout, and Wayward forced out of the side of the fight. What a scan of the week, though! Knight with a 4-man stun. Now the follow-up, JackeyLove trying to get some resets here, but they can't get a kill just yet. And it's Knight to go down. Now rockets and machine guns fired in all directions as Mark falls for the double. Viper taking over the game, looking for more. Cannot dive the turrets, but EDG find their fight.
Man, mid laners on both sides were insane in that fight. I mean, Jiejie finds the engagement with the package, and again, that scatter of the week was so beautiful. EDG, though, like you said, they find the kills. They should find the Herald. Jiejie, I mean, Tian gonna come in for the steal.
Oh, too little, too late coming out from Tian, and actually could be in a lot of trouble. Has to kick, has to flash as well. And honestly, if Jiejie was alone there, I think Tian maybe just kills him, but had some help from his friends, just like the Beatles, so he'll get by.
Yeah, and I mean, for EDG, this is massive, right? When we hit on that, I mean, their comp is definitely the one where I favor the scaling. Like, there's some options there for TS, right? Tristana scales fine. You have the Camille who can dive the back line, but Corki, Zeri will be able to do a ton. We're gonna go straight to the replay, though. Mark tries to find the hook, and look at Tian walking forward. You instantly see Jiejie and Meiko just zone out onto him, and Scout angles around to get the perfect package. But Knight with that scatter of the week. My God, sadly the damage not able to follow up because Scout does just flash away. No rocket jump on JackeyLove, and Knight just being alone off to the right sets up for the turn to come out from EDG to finish off all these kills.
And I feel like that fight is a perfect example of how powerful Flash is as a spell, right? If everyone from EDG isn't able to flash during that fight, it's a totally different fight. But the fact that they're all able to space, and EDG essentially use their health bars as a resource, right, in that fight. So many of them low by the end of it, but nobody can go down. It's so beautiful to see. That's the EDG that we got so used to seeing. That's the one we've been missing this whole split. Oh, not this whole split. That's too much, but...
Mark has hook, but doesn't have flash.
Actually gonna hook the Zenith Blade. Nicely played there. JackeyLove could be in trouble, though. Buster shot already on cooldown. That's gonna be his rocket jump. Not just a stun, but will still go down. Scout gets himself a 3rd kill of the game. This Corki already starting to get out of control as Mark getting dived by Viper. They're not going to let him recall today. Viper pulled back underneath the tower, but Mark already down. Tian forced away, and Knight has arrived in a situation that he doesn't want to be in. Meiko will go to... No, Meiko's not even tanking. Oh my days, they actually get away with it.
Yeah. And now we have a bit of a stomp in game 1 and setting up for a stomp in game 2 coming from EDG. 2K gold up, 7 kills to 1. They're gonna get plate gold as well onto the Zeri. They should be able to like finish this turret off quite soon as well. You expect resets to come out now from Viper as JackeyLove will show up in lane and show. So, but my God, massive swing to the side of EDG.
Yeah, no kidding. Jiejie has now found Tian in the jungle as well, or in the river, not even in the jungle. And Scout gets his 6th kill. Scout is 6 kills right now. He's almost 2,000 gold up individually. We're only 12 minutes into the game.
We knew when we saw 2 drafts that had a bunch of engage, had a bunch of like champs that have the ability to go and want to fight, that this would be a bloodbath, and it's delivering so far. EDG not only picking up all these kills, we see Jiejie being able to pick up this dragon. Now for the side of TS, I mean, where do you look? You know, maybe you try and flip towards that top side as they're leaning right now and try and sit for a pick, but EDG are matching.
Knight forced to flash in the mid lane there. The Scout just getting massive damage out, and already with a Hex Drinker and a finished Mana Moon, slowly but surely stacking up to become that Muramana. He is well on the way to becoming that so devastating Corki that we so often see. It'll be the Ludens next, I imagine. And that's the point at which top esports no longer get to contest objectives.
Yeah, now TS, since they're behind, right, have to opt into cross-mapping. They instantly get out of bot lane knowing, hey, we can't contend with the 2v2, or at the very least, we can't opt into situations where, you know, we'll get dove or these plays will come out. So sending their Tristana to mid, the other members hovering on top, reclaiming vision, stealing away jungle camps. But EDG with a nice response, keeping both Jiejie and Meiko around top lane to try to prevent these dives.
And a Knight moving in. This is a 5-man play from the side of top esports as they go for a dive. Jiejie starts the fight onto Mark, but 3-man knock up with his depth charge. It's just going to be a blast going out to safety here. Top esports retreat on the play. And in the meantime, Viper has had some solo time on the bottom side, clearing away waves, and Knight has been caught now. A boulder to find the slow package from Scout across the whole team. If he wasn't fed it up, he sure is now. There's a double for the little man on the earth. And now a dive from EDG. A bit of revenge for game one.
I know in the last series we said, hey, we typically don't like to say a game's over before it's over, but 14 minutes in, again, they have the Corki, they have the Zeri, we knew it would come online later, but the fact that they're already at a 7K, I guess 6K, maybe 7 after the 30K gold lead is so crazy to see. EDG buying time. Scout was coming the whole time with this package. Really nice flash from Jiejie to be able to guarantee that one. Xiaosheng also already Megan. Bam! Package lined across everyone. They're able to guarantee the kills. And I mean, right, we're getting to the point where it's going to just be like stat diff, money diff coming in, where EDG will be able to do whatever they want. Also, across the board, you know, subs were down for quite a while from TS because those were just forced out. Finally started to come back up on some members, so maybe they can, you know, survive certain plays, but Joe, it's over, isn't it? It's over.
Yeah, it's not very optimistic, is it? It's not. Maybe they could survive certain plays. Is not when that's the strongest sentence you can come up with for top esports.
No.
It doesn't exactly fill you with hope. Here we go, top esports for some reason trying to be aggressive on this one. I don't think they realize quite how far behind they are. Xiaosheng about to turn mega. And I don't think EDG are afraid
Go for
of
the
this
dive,
tower.
go for it.
Xiaosheng over. Only gets one with the Gnar, and Mark actually has a stopwatch. So maybe top esports can survive some of these plays. This is EDG. Dive underneath their tower. And Viper says, kiss the ring. JackeyLove chases them on out and looks for a little more. And well, I think you were right when you said it the first time. Lyric, this one's over.
Yeah. You know, now, again, we're going to see, we're pretty much watching now to see any atrocious ways if EDG members get picked off, anything like that, right? Maybe crazy steals from Tian. Those are the types of plays you're hoping for as top esports find their way back in the game. But after seeing game one and now seeing game two, I am just so excited for the potential game three that we're probably going to get.
Yeah. It's going to be a banger. Or it's going to be a really slow, really steady, really calm game. That's usually what happens in game number 3. Yeah, Scout is having a whale of a time. Almost 100% kill participation as well. 904, just a singular kill that he didn't have a hand in. It's kind of insane. Hilariously, Knight is actually 10 CS up in the 1v1. He's just 9 kills down is the only problem. Xiaosheng turns mega. Will get knocked up here. Oh my god, did they actually not even kill the Gnar? That is so depressing. He flashes away Tian. Finally finishes that kill. It's 1 for 1 as the Warthog comes on out at EDG. They're just playing with their food at this point. Both top laners fall. JackeyLove now getting chased down by Scout, but the Valkyrie already used. So it will just be a 1 for 1, all things considered.
And I love that EDG is opting into responding to the plays, right? Because they did have some vision down in bot side, so they knew that they were angling for that play onto the Gnar. Instead of opting to play towards the top side of the map, they're like, no. Again, we're stronger. We can match them every step of the way. So that's what they do. So really nice read coming out from Jiejie and Meiko. And now maybe get a 1v1 coming out from these mid laners.
Uh-oh, here we go. Scout 2 levels up. Knight has to make the miracle happen here. Scout of the week keeps him alive. Now has to dodge every single rocket. Sidesteps coming out from Knight. Can he make the magic happen? Survives the play.
that was beautiful coming out from Knight, able to survive. I mean, heck, like, look at the items. He has loot and Zeko. Corki has loot and Zeko, plus the Manamune, plus a Hex Streaker, and tier 2 boots. Like, man, the fact he's able to get away from that is absolutely insane. Looking at TS, though, you can see what their thought process is. The only one who has any chance is this Camille. You know, Wayward sitting about 40 CS up, so you constantly see Tian leaning towards that. Has the Hextech ultimatum to set up any kills. But for EDG, they don't care. Xiaosheng's like, yeah, you can take those turrets. We're just going to take more on the opposite side of the map. He's pushing bot, Herald in mid. EDG looking for a... You know, Munch? Let's guess how long this game lasts. Is this a sub 25-minute game? It must be, right?
I think this is a 19-minute game. EDG gonna back away. I don't think it's actually gonna be Herald to finish this one off. But yeah,
I'll go 22 minutes. 22.
I was gonna say 23. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be over pretty quick. Honestly, if Scout finds a good package here, if top esports opt into fighting, I think it's possible that we just end now. Knight forced to flash, and that will be enough for EDG not to find the engage.
Oh, no, is it?
Scout's going underneath the base. I guess what is going on? Scout went absolutely crazy, but they're so rich that it pays off anyway. Wayward can't close the gap, can't get onto this Corki. and will go down. Scout is... Whoa! Another... How does he do it every time? The Scout of the Weeks are insane. And somehow, Top Esports go 2 for 2. Oh, wait, no,
That is incredible. Yeah, 2 for 3. It was crazy because I thought Top Esports heard us. We're like, no, this will not be a 23-minute game. This game will end now as we just run in one by one. But, man, you hit on it coming into the series again. Knight Syndra is crazy. If you guys did not see 2020 Summer Finals, where, again, he had an amazing one, you missed out. We're going to see here, though, we thought EDG were going to back off with the flash, but no, Scout sees the opportunity with Knight walking forward, try to get him closer to the team, try to get the burn on him. Looked like he was going to go down, but again, just the item difference coming in is so massive at this point. JackeyLove being allowed to free hit on the back end, and then here, Knight gonna find another huge scout of the week. You combo that in with the W, Tian following in the queue. Sure, he's gonna go down, but marks another kill, and just beautiful stuff coming from the 1-4 Syndra.
Yeah, Knight and Tian as a pair there. Oh, Scout's been caught. Maybe a chance for Top Esports. No way do they actually make something happen here. No way. Xiaosheng isn't mega yet, so he actually has to hop back out, but it doesn't matter. Zeri is here. It's Viper's turn to carry a fight, but a buster shot from JackeyLove means they can't find much. It's only Mark to go
Scout.
down. Wait,
oh,
what?
No, he's getting chased.
The
Tian was chasing Scout that whole time.
The hunted. I don't know what he expected. I don't know how he expected that one to go, but Scout gets yet another kill.
Yeah, now for the side of EDG, this should be a Baron. I would expect Scout and Meiko, as it looks like, right? Hover around, zone them off. Don't let some kind of like straight orb come out and steal Baron because Jiejie missed fights or anything along those lines. And they do, and they will secure the objective. My God, man, 10K gold at 20 minutes.
Yep, 20-4. It's kind of a brutal lead right now in favor of EDG, and such a great game from them. I love that Top Esports just don't stop, though. No matter what is going on. Wayward kind of messed up his hook shot there. I think maybe it's killable if they can chain the CC a little better. But
look, I still think the logic's right. I think when you're like falling so far behind, and again, your comp, you're the Syndra, you're the Lee Sin, you're these types of picks. You're like, we could wait. Like, try and prey off enemy mistakes, let the Corki keep scaling, let the Zeri keep scaling. They can force any fight they want. It's like, no, go for these crazy Hail Marys, go for the cheesy plays, hope you find something, and, you know, if not, you're just gonna not even slowly bleed out. EDG would quickly bleed them out, even if they weren't going for those plays.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fast loss, no matter what at this point, so you might as well make the low percentage plays that give you a small opportunity and it not being a loss at all, right? That's the logic that they're employing, and now going for a place. Wayward behind enemy lines goes on to Meiko, but the play's already over, and now EDG starting to turn it around. Solar Flare in. Wayward will be the first to fall as they chase for more. Mark anchors himself out of that one. Viper knocked up, slow on to 2 though. Knight and Tian, there is no counterplay to this one. As Viper over the wall, flashes away from the hook. 2v1 on JackeyLove and Mark, who are forced into their base, and Scout is here to finish the job. A triple kill for Scout as Viper grabs 1 on the end of the play. EDG, revenge for game number 1, and they remind Top Esports who the world champions are. Scout with a 15-kill Corki game. That is how you play League of Legends right there.
Yeah, really great stuff coming out from EDG. I mean, Top Esports were starting to find some momentum in terms of the plays we're hitting, but that one Rift Herald fight completely flipped the script, put momentum in EDG's favor, and then they just kept up that aggression the whole way through. We're punishing the lack of summoners on the side of TS and just ran